They won, and then if you heard Giannis, like,
of course,
that shit was crazy. I woke up to that one. I woke up and I was like, that is
basically a house in your feet.
You can't pay for that kind of press.
Welcome to Full Court Fits, the show that takes you around the world of NBA fashion while also bringing you the latest, greatest breaking news in sneaker culture today. I'm Big Waz. Let's go. This guy is a beast in the customization lane of shoes. Clients all over the place. Some of the most legendary customs. The shoe surgeon. What's popping, brother?
Not much, man. Today we just started our first Air Max 1 class in the studio. Wow. We're just chilling.
First of all, man, I want to get a sense of how did you get into sneakers? Because I like to tell people, my mom bought me a pair of Jordan 6s. And I remember this because I was about 6, 7 years old myself. I remember because I wore them out the store. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was a time where you could just walk into a store, buy Jordans for whatever the hell they cost if you had the money for them, and carry your ass home. And that's my first memory of sneakers. And I can remember feeling like I was floating on a cloud. What's your first sneaker memory, brother?
Freshman year of high school, my cousin was old. She was older, and she had the original 1985 Jordan 1s.
Wow.
She let me wear those, I think, to the first day of school. You know what those are. So everyone just flipped. I didn't know what they were at the time, but everyone just flipped. It was instantly yo, I need cool shoes. I need a dope pair of shoes that makes me feel like I was able to actually speak without actually having to talk. It attracted people. It created conversation. So I was like, yo, I need this.
You're saying that's back when you were 14 years old. How did you get the idea that how I'm really gonna take it to the next level is I'm actually gonna augment these sneakers. I'm gonna do my own sneaker designs. How did you get that thought even in your mind?
You know how it is. You can't wear the same shoe twice, or it's just not the same feeling anymore unless it's in a whole different crowd, right? So I started working at the mall, and I got Jordans early. One of my friends from high school, his sister was dating the manager at one of the Foot Lockers. So he would get us Jordans early. And I would wear those, and it was that same powerful feeling of damn, how'd you get those already? You can only do that so long, and then all your friends had the same shoes anyway. So I was like, yo, what, this isn't fun anymore. So that's when I just picked up an airbrush, an all white pair of Air Force One mids, all camouflage, and went to school the next day, and people just flipped. It was that same reaction, and the paint fell off because it was the wrong paint. It flipped from me what the shoe was to shit, I need to figure out how to get better quality.
I do want to talk to you about some of these designs because you're not just sharpieing or painting stuff. You are literally reconstructing sneakers. So how do you go from stenciling, painting, and drawing on something to straight up I'm making a brand new shoe at this point now?
It was this fear of being perfect. It was going from the paint falling off to finding the right kind of paint that would last longer. Even when I had the next good quality paint, it was just you could see the brush strokes, and it was I don't really like painting. I want to learn how to do more. I moved to Charlotte when I was 18 years old, and I went to a Tandy leather factory, and there was just leather everywhere, leather tools. So it opened my eyes to just what leather was. And on the wall, you see some laser engraved leather, and I just went to the front desk guy. I was like, yo, I want to, where can I take this to sew on top of the shoe? And they're like, oh, go to this shoe repair shop or something. So I went there, and I brought this Vans Chukka. I had some leather laser engraved, and I brought it there, and then they sewed on top of it. And at that time I was just yo, how did they do that? And they did it in 3 days. So I was like, yo, I can do this. Even then though, it wasn't perfect, and it wasn't reconstruction. And that's when I met a Western boot maker up back in my home, right outside my hometown in Sebastopol, California, Michael Anthony. And he makes these amazing handmade to-fit custom cowboy boots, takes the measurement, everything. So I didn't learn how to make the boots from him because, I wasn't passionate about the boots, but I saw how passionate he was about making these boots. And I was like, that's what I want to do with sneakers. I started taking shoes apart, putting them back together, and just really started building a network and just asking everyone as many questions as possible. What I've learned is, and that's what the reconstruction of the shoes is you'll never really get to that perfect place.
That reminds me when you hear artists and they put out their album, they're just the album album's never really done. That's why it's good that these people put artificial deadlines on us. Because as an artist, you never feel like your work is actually done. There's always that last tweak.
I was sitting at a dinner with G-Eazy. It was like the first time that we actually got to sit next to each other. And he was just like, yo, tell me, like, what's your favorite shoe? And I was like, what's your favorite song? And he just looked at me. He just looked at me and he's like, oh shit. So it's like we have the same mentality. It's just
of course
craft. You know what I mean?
So who was your first big client? You were like, yo, this guy's gonna post my shit. The whole entire globe is gonna see it. And like, this is gonna change the way I operate from now on.
First like paid like celebrity was actually a friend's brand who became a mentor, Android Home, who was doing shoes for will.i.am at the VMAs. But because of that one, then they introduced me to Justin Bieber's stylist. And I started doing shoes for Justin Bieber. He might have been 15 years old and his following wasn't really what I was looking for client-wise. But at the same time, he built such a big name for him and put so much time into his craft that it was cool that I was noticed on a larger scale like that.
You've worked with Odell, Fat Joe, Justin Bieber, LeBron, Drizzy Drake, Kyle Kuzma. It goes on and on and on. But I need you to give me the story behind the PJ Tucker sneaker. Obviously, that shit made a lot of news, went extremely viral. For the people who don't know, Dominic made a shoe with PJ Tucker that is diamond encrusted and is worth $250,000, or was it? It was worth that last year. It's probably worth more now.
Price went up.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Please tell us the story behind this historic sneaker.
Man, I was working on just a golden diamond concept for a while. And for me, it's not about just putting glitz and glam on a shoe. I don't want to just put golden diamonds on a shoe and be like, there's a shoe. I think it needs to be done in an aesthetic way that is tasteful, yet it also has multi-function. So, you know, I met with Jason in Beverly Hills to do this collaboration because he's been so skilled in jewelry for so long. And I got to sit and kind of be like, this is how I see it envisioning and actually functioning on a shoe. And we were sitting on that for like 2 years because, you know, COVID and all that stuff. So we put it aside for a long time. Me and PJ are very close. So he knows like pretty much everything I'm working on.
Wow.
And then, you know, as actually my business partner was like, hit up PJ because it's like, this is the moment. So I hit him up. He's like, yo, this is perfect timing. We remade the shoe in like 2 days. Actually, we flew someone out to hand deliver them to him right before the game. Like he picked them up. He drove to the airport to pick them up. I didn't think it was going to go that crazy. I mean, they won. And then if you heard Giannis, like,
of course,
that shit was crazy. I woke up to that one. I woke up and I was like, that is.
This guy today, he wore a 250,000 pair of shoe. He had real diamonds. I promise you.
You can't pay for that kind of press.
I do want to get you out of here on the Shoe Academy because I think that's a really cool project because you're somebody who's extremely successful in what you do. And at the end of the day, you could just live your life being the most successful motherfucker in the custom shoe space and keep it pushing. But what you've decided to do is basically pay it forward and put people under your expert tutelage. Talk to me about the inspiration of Shoe Academy and what the experience has been like for you so far.
It's definitely one of the things that bring the most fulfillment for me. And I remember being 19 years old and sitting with my now mentor who makes the custom boots. And me and him just, talked about this years ago of like, yo, one day we're going to start a trade school where like kids can just learn how to make stuff with their hands and stuff because we didn't have that. So it was just like, yo, we need to figure that out. And like being around fashion and being around LA people, or just people in general that are really closed off and tight. I just see a bigger need in this world to help people in some sort of sense instead of not. It's just cool to be able to teach and have that real dream come to life where it's not even about kids, it's about anyone who wants to create and make something. And I think it's doing something for yourself. And a lot of people in this world, in this lifetime, don't really do something healthy selfish for themselves. And I think it's so important to do that. So yeah, I love it, man. And I've built so many close relationships and, helped change lives, changed my own life by doing it. And it's something that we'll continue to do forever.
Like a lot of times people who are really successful in their field can feel sort of untouchable, right? Like beyond, everybody that's on the ground, beyond their grasp. So the fact that you're reaching back and helping out the next generation of creators and creatives is amazing. Hey, Dominic, thank you for coming on.
Bro. I appreciate you having me.
All right, that was our show for today. Make sure you subscribe to The Ringer's YouTube page and make sure you ring that notification bell so that you get alerted every single Friday when we drop these episodes. See you next week. We're out of here. Peace.